My name is State Senator Ross Romero, serve Senate District 7, and I'd also like to thank the governor for his invitation to participate and also for his handling an investigation of the list that was recently created. I particularly note that because it is receiving national attention, and I think how we handled that is very appropriate and very important. I also, as we're so willing to lay blame with our federal delegation, want to recognize a recent decision by the Obama administration to add troops along the border, and recognizing that securing the border is a priority for the federal administration, and he's committed to do that with increased personnel. As a Utah Hispanic, I'm concerned about the negative and offensive tone that has transpired recently in this immigration debate. Intentional or not, the debate has moved from something very understandable and realistic, which is a conversation about immigration and how we handle it, to an anti-immigration sentiment, and it has now morphed into an anti-Hispanic feeling in the community. That's what's caused a lot in the Hispanic community to be concerned about what's going on, to not participate in community building, and in fact to isolate themselves from others. I would suggest this is not helpful for our community. I would suggest that we're better than the them versus us analysis which has been going on recently, and think we need to do better at finding solutions. Finally, as a member of national Hispanic organizations, I can tell you we are being watched on how we handle this. Maybe it's because it is clear of the LDS Church's influence in our community that we can and must do better, and I appreciate the governor for the invitation and helping us do that.
My name is Dee Rowland. I represent the Salt Lake, the Catholic Diocese of Salt Lake City, which encompasses the whole state of Utah. And I am here representing Bishop John Wester, who regrets that he cannot be with you today. And I regret that he cannot be here because he would do a much better job of explaining our position. We are grateful for this wonderful opportunity and great example of civic dialogue. I think our message essentially is pastoral. We believe that all of us are sisters and brothers under God. And that includes citizens and non-citizens. That includes the unemployed in our country as well as the unemployed who come here seeking food for their families. Our pastors do not ask who their parishioners are. They do not ask the legal status of their parishioners. But they feel the pain of families who are living in the shadows and trying to feed their families, trying to, in some cases, escape drug smuggling, unresponsive governments in their own countries, and have come here seeking a better life for their families. They see their children suffering. So we live in a democracy. We feel a responsibility as an institution to speak out on these issues. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Representative Stephen Sandstrom, and it's no secret that I am running legislation similar to that of Arizona. But I wish I did not have to run such legislation here in the state of Utah. And I know the people in Arizona that passed that legislation wished they did not have to run that type of legislation. However, I feel I have no choice, and it's due to the utter failure of the federal government to secure our borders and to get the tools we need to have an immigration policy that works in this state and nation. I was elected by citizens of the state of Utah, and I swore an oath to uphold the law. We are a nation in a state of laws. Laws guarantee our freedom. They give us protection and safeguard all we hold dear. Laws is what makes our great nation. And the problem of illegal immigration threatens some of these protections we do hold dear. I've heard from citizens across the entire state of Utah. The people of Utah are behind this legislation. I will move forward. However, today I am here to listen. I'm here to hear ideas that can make my bill better. I am here to reach out to various groups, whether they're Hispanic groups, faith-based organizations. I want to be a bill that all have seen and all have had input. However, this bill is needed. To think we do not have this problem in the state of Utah is naive, and we will have a solution. Thank you.
I'm Attorney General Mark Sherlock. Governor, thank you for your leadership in convening this, I think, historic and very symbolic meeting. And in Utah, history and symbolism is very important to us. In 1869, first of all, when we decided what we were going to put on the back of that quarter to emphasize to the rest of the country what was important to the state, we chose the golden spike. In 1869, this country was joined together in this state. And the two groups who were there to drive that stake were the Chinese and the Irish workers. Immigrants who were not legal at the time. They came here at the request of the companies in consultation with the states, not the federal government, by the way. But what they put on that golden spike was interesting. It said, "May God continue the unity of our country as this railroad unites the two great oceans." What we need to do, what we're doing, I appreciate your introduction, Governor, is a multi-part comprehensive plan that recognizes the importance of security and immigration as well as economics, because at the very basis of immigration is in economics. And so I've passed out the proposal. I won't go through that today as far as key issues we need to discuss. But in consultation, really the leadership of a friend of mine who is Paul Ostrom, the founder of East Spring Capital, who has since moved to Mexico at the request of the banks and government down there to help them succeed financially, is to also consider, in addition to all of this, that in addition to security and enforcing the laws and giving us more tools, for example, our secure strike force, is to recognize the work line is separate from the immigration line, and to propose an initiative, call it the Golden Spike Initiative or whatever, that will create a bilateral, cross-border, bipartisan working group to study the issues of current federal laws with regard to work permits and temporary work permits. Along the same time, we may consider doing something ourselves. Thank you. Time's up.
My name is Kirk Smith. I'm the Sheriff of Washington County, Utah. I'm representing the Utah Sheriff's Association. One of the things that the sheriffs wanted me to make sure that I passed on is that as elected officials, we're being given, and Governor, again, I apologize thank you for inviting us. They're giving us the message, our constituents, and they're telling us we want somebody to do something. Where we're at right now is born out of frustration, in my opinion. We've seen people that are acting, in my judgment, way out of character from how they normally act, because we can't seem to get anybody anywhere to listen. We look to Washington, D.C., and we see a community of great orators, but it's hard to find a great leader. And I'm not talking about just our current president. I'm talking about for considerable time back. We have two issues in our mind that are challenging to our country that nobody wants to face, and that's Social Security and immigration. But nobody wants to stand up and face the issues. We have people right now that are trying to become citizens that are obstructed at every turn because we have an immigration process that since September 11th is in total disarray. We need to work on that. We need to secure our borders, and we need to make sure that law enforcement's given the tools and not unfunded mandates to accomplish its mission. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, Governor. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for inviting me to this. My name is Tony Yapias, and thank you for the way you've handled the investigation with the recent list. We cannot do the job of the federal government in the halls of this Capitol. I understand people are passionate about this issue on both sides. It's very evident in the spirit of contention surrounding the immigration debate that has gotten out of hand in our state. We want undocumented workers here legally, paying into the system while earning an honest wage and providing a workforce for American businesses that demand an immigrant labor. Immigrants are not asking for an amnesty. They're asking for a chance, an opportunity to live legally and work without fear. We want good, honest, hardworking people to pay their dues, and the solution is humane, comprehensive immigration reform that is just and fair for all. Yes, even those who are waiting online. We cannot solve our problems surrounding immigration without the action of the federal government. We must work on solutions that must be fixed. I applaud every effort that's being made, proposed, and resolved to resolve this problem. And one of it is us being here today. Thank you.